Dear Americans, your journey through Sweden is coming closer to its end.
I'm gonna miss this so much.
Carl Larson.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. It feels like we're walking through a painting.
And if he never left, I wouldn't be here.
Because it's anybody's game at this point, so it'd be easier to not put us through this. That puzzle was a pain in the ass.
I know the finale is getting closer and closer, and it's wild to think that one of the 5 of us is actually going to have that reunion.
I mean, the reason we came on this journey is to meet family and to learn our story, so it's within our sight now. And I'm so excited, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, because there's a lot of challenges to get from here to that reunion.
Kind of assumed I would have gone home a long time ago, but I'm so happy to still be here.
Painting!
Sausage?
Dear Americans, you are now close to Fallon in Dalarna. This region is famous for its special red paint, its copper mines, and a super popular sausage, falukorv. It's also famous for Carl Larson and Sundborn, where you are now. This year marks the 100th anniversary of Carl Larsson's passing. He is one of Sweden's all-time most famous artists and probably the most popular one. Actually, Carl Larsson painted, and Karen Larsson, his wife, did all of the styling and the making of a lot of furniture, textiles, and clothes you can see in the paintings. I don't really know anything about Carl Larsson. I've probably seen some of his paintings, but I don't know much about his life, so I'm excited to learn. Surprise! You will stay at their legendary properties this week.
I think this is exciting as can be, that we will be staying at his house and learning more about him. This is really something I'm looking forward to.
The coffret contains, at hem, a book of Carl Larsson describing his family life, a painter's kit. Maybe you can learn something in this creative environment. Beret, classic headwear for painting artists.
Yep.
Red rocks. The rocks are from the mine and what you make the paint from. Music. Appelbo Ganglot, a walking song from a region with a lot of fäbodar, huts, far out in the wild where people used to take their animals during the summer. Here you find Brunskogen, the forest of the bride, where, according to the legend, Appelbo got a wedding crown from the forest trolls. One of you have a family history in the forest of the bride. One of the huts that are still standing belonged to the family of Melissa.
Yay!
Oh my God. When we opened the coffer today, all of us were like, please let there be a chest in it. Please let there be a chest in it. We opened it, and I just had to kind of hold myself together to try to listen to Christina.
The family treasure chest in the coffer is yours. How do you feel about that?
Just being in this really beautiful place and knowing that I'm that close and that there's a building, there's a hut that my family had, that shocks me. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy for you.
Like, what is...
Finally, your journey through Sweden is coming closer to its end. You are 5 Americans now. When this week is over, only 4 of you will be left. Those 4 can call themselves finalists of Allt for Sverige.
So finale's coming up. It's gonna go from 4 to 1. I'm really excited, but I really want to win, and I really want to meet my family, and I'm just so excited, and I cannot wait for that day.
All right.
Oh my gosh, what's that?
That's the paintings.
Clothes.
Brushes.
All right, well, you can't hand me a dress without me putting it on, so.
Music time.
What?
Oh.
His house, I guess.
I am so honored that we are getting to stay and absorb and experience this space.
This is so cool. I'm so excited to see. Let's see.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Oh, I like it. Very nice.
Love the layers.
They have these in the house to the other. Oh, wow.
It's insane of staying in places that people don't get to stay in. It's just, you know, like money cannot buy these experiences, and that's so cool. I'm gonna sleep over here in the little nook.
Okay.
Because I like that.
I think there's one over here.
Well, you get the master suite.
Ah. Yeah. So I guess I got a room to myself, huh?
Awesome. Whoa! Look at this. Oh wow! It's so cute. This is so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa! Oh my gosh! Look at this beautiful room. The natural light coming in with all the plants. It's so pretty.
It smells like, I don't know. It's beautiful. There's so much going on. It's so hard to take in all at once. Yeah, just blew me away. It was so much more than I expected.
Hey, let's check the book and see if we can find a painting of this room, because this would be a perfect subject.
Yeah, it'd be fun since we're sitting in it. Can you imagine?
Holy cow, I think I found it, flipping right to it.
And here we are. It's a really surreal thing to be able to flip through a book of famous art and see the painting of the room that you're looking at the painting of the room in. You know, it's like you're in the painting.
That's the room.
That's where we came in.
Yeah, the big post and the couch, though.
But there's kids hanging out over the top.
Yeah, I didn't see that before.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
go
recreate
check it
it.
out.
Let's be them. Let's be the kids watching.
I mean, be careful with this book. Just try not to ruin it.
Let's do it. We'll recreate.
Hi.
Hey, Dad.
Hey,
What are you painting?
I'm painting a mural of a lady dressed in old-fashioned clothing.
Does this look right? Have we recreated it?
Yes, indeed. You look like you're checking on your dad doing his thing.
Bye, Dad.
All right.
Everything is so beautiful. Like each corner you turn,
Yeah.
like, ah. I really love walking around here. Everything is so pretty. It's really peaceful and beautiful, and everywhere you look is a beautiful picture.
My strongest impression of this place so far is the architecture of the houses. Everything is a fairy tale, every detail. And I like the way, especially the main house, is added on and put together in different parts. You know, it really looks like a gingerbread house to me.
Like a gingerbread house that 3 different people made or more, and just everyone added whatever they wanted.
Everybody had different ingredients.
This is nuts. Whoa. It's like I have that awe feeling. Rob, you have to come in here.
Okay.
It's so beautiful, and little paintings on the doors and paintings inside. And I actually felt kind of like a sense of awe overcome me when we went into his art studio.
That's just incredible.
Walking into that big studio is breathtaking. It feels like in a movie in that moment when like the sun shines down on something that's happening, and I was like didn't want to take a step further because I was afraid I was going to disrupt the peacefulness of it and the serenity of it, because it's just so like mind-blowing.
And it looks like, well, no, that's supposed to be marble, so I was going to... Oh, his brushes.
Think they were his?
Heck yes. That's his
my
brushes.
Gosh. Good job, Carl.
Thanks for your house.
Helvetet på jorden låter som en dyster kommunslogan, men på 1600-1700-talet hade det stämt bra överens med Falun. När man närmade sig på avstånd såg man svarta, mörka moln avteckna sig mot himlen, och luften började stinka av svavel. Bäckarna var röda av järn och skogarna låg döda milsvida omkring. Den intensiva röken la sig över trakten som ett dunkel, så mörkt att vandrare fick famla sig fram på vägarna. Till sist kom man fram till ett enormt hål som öppnade sig mot underjorden, och där nere, mer anade än såg man människor täckta av sot som slet med sitt tröstlösa arbete. Det var ingen munter plats det här. Och i dagens tävling är det våra deltagare som ska frakta bort schaktmassor från Falu koppargruva.
Over the last few days, it's really set in that the possibility of meeting my family is real, and that's adds some pressure.
Oh, I just don't want to do this. It's anybody's game at this point, so it'd be easier to not put us through this.
We've talked a lot about Sweden's time as a great power. And this mine was the heart of the empire, or the wallet maybe. A mountain of copper producing 2/3 of Europe's demand. The roofs of the palaces, the towers of the churches, the copper, it all came from here. It was the stronghold of Sweden, and when the mine collapsed in 1687, it didn't take long until the empire collapsed too. Bit by bit, we lost provinces until Sweden got the shape it has now. In today's competition, you will have to put pieces together to create a map of Sweden today, complete with the places you've been visiting. The three who finishes first will have a place in the finale. The other two will have to meet again to fight for the last place. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nere i dagbrottet ska amerikanerna med hjälp av en platt spade flytta det röda koppargruset till en behållare. När den är tillräckligt full tippar vågen och frigör en nyckel. Nyckeln öppnar låset på lådan som innehåller alla landskap i form av pusselbitar. Sverige ska alltså byggas och skyltar ska sedan placeras ut med namn på orter där de har varit under tiden i Sverige.
I'm a little nervous about the challenge because I think each step is going to be a little more difficult than it looks.
My strategy right now is to just try to do the first part as fast as possible so I can make up time if I put a flag in a wrong place.
How do you feel?
All right.
All right? Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Klara, färdiga, gå!
Yep, okay. Woo. My strength in this challenge may be that I have been keeping track of where we've been, but I only know where those cities are in relationship to each other, not necessarily in relationship to the extra holes that are going to be on the map or other cities.
I'm very directionally challenged. I can't tell north from south from east from west, so don't ever tell me to drive north because I'll head in a totally opposite direction.
I think this is anyone's challenge. I'm worried that I may not be fast enough in any part of the challenge, and maybe others will know the map better than I do.
Okay, it does fit there.
There's something weird. I definitely do not want to relive being in an elimination challenge because it sucks.
Maybe. Okay. Something's wrong, but it'll be okay. Something's wrong. It'll be okay.
Do we go that far north? I don't know. Okay. Came here. Oh, who's sure. Good enough. Done. Done, I think.
Good job. It looks fine to me. 7 out of 7. So good job.
Thank you.
Does it feel right?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
No.
Some places are right. We got one right here. 1, 2. No, no. Yes. So, 3 right, 4 places.
Better than I thought.
Okay, good then.
Yeah.
Okay, good job.
Thanks. That puzzle was a pain in the ass.
I always get a little nervous and a little anxious before a challenge, so I'm gonna try my best to put that aside and focus on what's in front of me.
I think that, you know, the family reunion is always the reason we came here, and I'm so close that I'm like, I'm feeling the fighting spirit more than ever.
I'm definitely not nervous about competing against the others or even thinking about that. I'm just nervous about not remembering like I should, and the locations in Sweden we've gone to I've not kept track with, and that's going to hurt me.
Okay. Okay. So, ready?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Klara, färdiga, gå!
I think my strength in this challenge is that I am decently fast and decently strong. I'm relatively good at puzzles, and I think I know roughly where the cities go, so kind of decently okay at everything at least.
All I'm going to do is try to focus on the challenge and try to get the puzzle right. I'm not going to try to think about the other people that might have to compete or lose the challenge. I'm just going to try to do the best I can.
I'm anxious, a little bit nervous, but trying to stay calm because prior challenges when I've been really nervous, it's where I bomb. So I just need to kind of chill out and be thankful that I made it this far.
This is going to take all day. Heck.
Done.
Oh, for goodness sake. I knew it wasn't going well when I had to just stop and stand back and look at the board and try to figure out where some of those shapes and curves might intersect.
Okay. So, 3 places to the finale is at stake here. And the first goes to the outstanding Jen.
Yeah!
Yay,
Nice
Jen.
job, Jen!
With a total time of 8:47.
It's awesome.
The second one to go straight to the finale is Katie.
Katie.
The one who finished last today was Rob.
Ah.
This wasn't your cup of tea. No.
I was very puzzled.
So, one more of you will go straight to the finale. With only 2 seconds time difference. Melissa, congratulations.
Are you kidding me? What?
So, Christina,
You gotta be
Rob,
kidding me. Wait,
you
really?
will be last, yeah.
Holy crap, Christina.
I told you,
I
I
was so-
felt like it was really slow compared to you guys.
Well, I will teach you how to do a puzzle. You teach me how to do geography.
Really?
I'm sorry. I totally botched the geography.
I am not at all looking forward to doing another challenge, but I have to, so here we go.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are still here. You're still here.
Okay.
All right, let's move
What
on.
happens next time?
Det skimmer i molnen och glitter i sjön. Det är ljus över stränder och näs.
The sun was going down, and the lake was just like glass, and got to hang out with Katie. Peaceful, great way to spend some time. Sitting here, isn't it awesome?
It's one of the most beautiful things I've seen in a long, long, long time.
I'm so glad that you've hung in there and we've gotten to hang out more.
Me too. It's been so fun. Everything we've done together from the beginning has just been insane, and then to come towards the end with something like this, and it's me and you, and that's just, it's the best. We're very close at this point, I would say. Yeah, we've definitely relied on each other throughout the ups and downs of this journey, and it's just nice to have someone like that beside you. You're one of the most inspiring people I've ever encountered in my life, because your passions, they align with mine, and we agree on so many things. And hearing your story and how you talk and how you've created this life for you, like, I'm like, wow, she's so badass.
Oh, Katie,
like,
that's
it's just
awesome
so
from
cool
you.
to me.
Oh, Katie's crazy in the most awesome ways. She's the life of the party, and she's willing to say what's on her mind without hurting people. And she's just got this brilliant mind on her, and she's got big dreams. She's amazing.
So you're finally getting your special day.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You know, I think it's just because I know nothing, it's like the letter from the coffer already had more information than I ever thought I would get. I mean, it said that there's a building, that we're in this forest that, you know, has the story of enchantment. I'm just so excited, and I cannot wait to tell my family and show them, because they don't have a clue. We don't have anything.
It's new to them.
Yeah, there's no stories, there's no place, and now we have a place.
You have
And
a
I can't
house.
wait to be there. Yeah, we have a hut, and I just imagined that it was gonna be some field, like, oh, maybe they lived here, but to know that there's something physical, yeah, it's overwhelming. I am Ojibwe on my mom's side of the family. These are jingle dresses. These are traditional Ojibwe dresses. The jingles make the sound as we dance. There's a deep personal pride to being Native American for me, and that family is a big, big part of my life, a big part of how I grew up. This is a traditional sage. I'm smudging my jingle dresses just to clean them or purify them. My entire life, I have explored, honored, and lived by these teachings from Ojibwe culture and that heritage. I admittedly have had mixed feelings about exploring my other heritages. Did you all know my dads, the Andersons?
No.
Ben, you didn't know them?
I only knew Norma.
It's a dissonance in my head about, on the one hand, of course, you love your grandmother and your father and your aunties and your uncles, and you want to honor that. And yet, how do you come to terms with embodying both the colonizers and the colonized? Because I realized I don't know anything about them, and I know so much about this side of the family, and I don't have a clue, you know, who my dad's family is or where they came from or what they did. And then when my grandpa died, I realized how fast life goes and how quick that information goes away. I want my son to be able to know all of where he comes from. Where did those ancestors come from that had to exist for him to be who he is today? And I am so excited to get to share it with him.
Okay, here we go. Hey, see you guys.
It's really hard to put words on kind of looking around and thinking, do I have family that walked here? Do I have family that lived here? Did they see the same view that I'm looking at? I feel ready. I feel like the whole reason to come here is finally here. And I have nothing, and so anything is just, I'll take it. Dear Melissa, welcome to Dalarna, the very heart of Sweden, where folk life and natural beauty are celebrated as symbiotic in traditional folk songs. Among them are walking tunes, the most famous of which was composed by Artberg's Kala, who came from this area. Dalarna's hilly pastures are dotted with huts called fäbodar, the well-preserved remnants of the region's pre-modern pasturing system. Young women, called fäbodjanter, lived in them seasonally and worked to produce fresh cheese and butter while their family's livestock grazed on the common ground pasture. This particular fäbodval was passed down in your family for generations. Oh my God, they lived here. God, it's been like 100 years since anybody in my family has been back here as far as I know, and I'm pretty sure none of us have. And how is it that it's me? Like, what did I ever do to deserve that? And how can I make sure other people in our family can get that chance too? That's what was going through my head, you know? Like, I'm just so grateful that I got that chance. And how cool, like this open kind of communal way of living, which is the same as my mom's Ojibwe heritage and what I'm used to on that side of the family. So that's amazing to know that that communal way of being is on both sides. Rogsveden, Appleby Parish, is the place where generations of your relatives have lived as farmers and innkeepers. One of them is your four-time great-grandfather, Lars Eriksson, born 1811. At 20, he married his neighbor, Britta Per's daughter. They had 6 children between 1832 and 1851, and 5 of them survived past childhood: Eric, Lars, Per, Elias, and Karin. But 15 years later, most of them were gone. Free land was being offered at the end of the American Civil War in 1865 to anyone brave enough to settle America's backwoods beyond the coast. The offer tempted many in Europe, where birth rates were outgrowing available jobs. In Sweden, people changing their surnames was as hot a fad as talk of America. Lars and Britta's family were hip to both trends. All their sons took the surname Dahlquist, and 3 of them moved to America at the end of its Civil War. Lars and Britta followed the next year, then Karin and her family the year after that. 5 children here that are listed, and I barely know anything about the one that I descend from, so this could be hundreds and hundreds of people that are over in America that I could share this with. That's so cool. I mean, they would love to know this story. I'm sure they don't know this. I'm sure they don't. The only one left was oldest son, Eric Dahlquist. Perhaps Eric was more traditional than trend-minded. He did change his name but refused to leave Dalarna. Eric is already married to Britta Johnsdotter, and they have 5 children. Britta Christina, Lars Eric, Per, and Johan. They live in Skog Parish, where Eric does odd jobs to support his family. But why stay to do that? His whole family had left for America, even his in-laws. Was he stubborn? Scared of fitting into a new culture or the dangers of sea travel? Or maybe he, more than any of his siblings, felt himself a true Dalmas, proudly born and bred in this province, which natives do not like to leave. I laugh reading that he didn't want to leave here because it's so like my whole family. Just so tied to home and place, and I really believe that to build community you should stay where you are, and apparently he did too. Eric seems determined to stick it out in his native province, to live, raise his family, and someday die right here in these dales. Come hell or high water, and boy, would they come. First came high water. A brutalizing rain decimated Sweden's crops in summer 1867. Especially hit were the northern provinces, along with Värmland and Dalarna. Then came hell. Everything dried up the next summer, killing the crops. Seeds became scarce. Some places lost up to half their cattle. A land surveyor wrote to the Academy of Agricultural Sciences journal, "One starts to imagine summer and winter school terms switching places, because we had bare ground and mild weather just 2 weeks ago. But Old Man Winter has finally arrived now, with such force that I am not sure that we can even get outside the cottage door, because the snowdrifts have reached at least roof level." How did they get through? I mean, you had to be so afraid, especially when you have children. That's what I think about is you're a father and you've got children here and you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. What do you do? 1867 is considered Dalarna's last real famine year. So much snow fell between Pentecost and Midsummer that all the crops froze. The ice on Lake Gimmen was 29 inches thick on May 18th. Just before midsummer, the cold gave way to an intense heat wave. Tree buds grew leaves in just 3 days. Still, the crops failed and severe famine followed. In the throes of this famine, youngest child, Johanna, dies barely 1 year old. No official cause of death was given, but perhaps the hunger made it obvious. I didn't ever even know that person existed. I don't even know if my grandma knew that that person existed, which is so sad. That a little baby, there's no memory of her, but here she is. That was it for Eric. He and his youngest sons, Per and Johan, are sailing out of Gothenburg Harbor by June 21st, 1872. Once established, Eric sends for his wife Britta, son Lars, and daughter Britta Christina. They board the same steamship the men had taken, the Orlando, and sail out on November 13th, 1874. The whole family reunites and settles in Minnesota. You know, as a person, I'm Ojibwe, and I think about how much European settlers hurt our culture. But that wasn't at all what was on his mind. He just wanted his family, he just loved his family and wanted them to survive. And you can't fault people for that. And if he never left, I wouldn't be here. Your bloodline goes on through Eric and Britta's daughter, Britta Christina. She marries a fellow Swede named August Anderson in 1876. But after a work-related accident, Britta Christina was widowed and left to raise her 10 children alone. Her oldest son, Albin Anderson, married Eunice Thomas. And their daughter, Norma, was born in 1926, your farmer, my grandma. If you know what your ancestors went through for you to be here, it makes it important not to waste your own life. And my grandma said that her biggest regret in life before she died was that she didn't do anything to make a difference in the world. And I just want her to know she did. She's a part of this long story, and all of us after her. And we all make a difference. And I wish she could see this and know where she came from. I don't know why I'm shocked, but I am surprised at how many parallels there are between my mom's side, the Ojibwe side, my dad's side, the Swedish side. It's loyalty to place values about living in a communal way and putting family first, and I think my family is going to really be excited to hear that that's what they come from.
Being here is incredible. It feels like a dream, almost like we're walking through a painting. Everywhere I stand, I think, oh, this looks like a painting, and oh, it is a painting.
Oh, that's that painting in the magazine. I was just...
We're sitting right here.
Yeah, it has...
Oh, this is the spot?
Yeah, it's like literally
The
right
tree.
there.
Wait a minute.
That's the same chair. Everything is the same.
So special to be sitting basically in Carl Larsson's painting. I loved it.
Should we eat?
Yep.
I'm really
sure.
hungry.
Breakfast this morning was like eating breakfast in a painting. We ate the same things that they probably ate in the same place, even the table and the chair. I was really excited about the chair matching the painting that was on the end of the table. To me, that detail just made it so real.
So far, I think Carl Larsson seems like such a cool guy.
I just find it hard to imagine how great it must have been to have him as a dad, painting all the time and teaching that. I'm sure he must have taught his kids. And,
Or allowing them to just be constantly around while he was painting.
One of the tour guides was telling me that they allowed the kids to be around and running around a lot more than some other families would, because a lot of like wealthy families would just kind of give the kids to the nanny or something. But they had the kids around all the time. And you can see that in the paintings with the kids everywhere, yeah.
and that's pretty unusual too. I can't think of another artist offhand that really focused on his family so
That's,
many times.
yeah, me neither.
I love that we're recreating our version of this
that,
painting.
yeah.
You know what that makes me think? It makes me think we're his family now. We're Swedes. We're in Sweden. We're the Swedish family. The breakfast we shared sitting at that table, recreating that painting, kind of made us his family, and certainly made us feel like we were of the Swedish family now, as adored as Carl Larsson's children were.
Painting time.
Hey,
Hi.
to see you.
Katie.
How are you? Anders.
Hello,
How are you?
Christina.
Good to see you.
I'm Rob.
So this is a beautiful day. It's Carl Larsson weather, sunny days like this, and we're actually going to paint in oil today. I mean, he's most famous for his watercolors, but it all started with oil paintings.
Sounds great.
Great.
Never painted with oils before.
I've never painted before.
What?
Rob, are you excited to paint?
Yeah, excited to paint again. It's been many years since I've painted.
Good.
Okay, this is your equipment for today. It's quite basic. It's an easel. You have your canvases, you have your palettes, your colors, the brushes. So we'll split this on each of you, and if you start with an easel and just move out, so you will get the right gear, and then you'll choose a good spot for you.
I'm so happy that I got to paint in the same area, looking at some of the same scenery that Carl Larsson was painting. That is so cool.
It'd be nice to paint a corner of his house and his tree and the little flower planting there and that tree too.
Right.
It's kind of...
I just like the bench next to the tree.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
absolutely. Right. With a brushwork like that, you will end up like a Chinese painting made in a factory.
Yeah.
It's better if you do this. Because if you just do that, it's typical for industrial painting. So try to be very, work with the brush. You get life into the brush strokes, almost like an orchestra or the director. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be afraid. Just push in there and work it.
Thanks.
Good. Go for it. You could also use your hands like this to try to find this is my image. Yeah.
Okay, this part I feel confident with.
Yeah, right.
You don't know this, but I'm a mime.
Oh,
in my real
really?
life. Yeah.
There you go.
So I wish I could just do it this way.
Yeah.
Oil painting outside is a lot harder than it sounds. You just want to get it right, and you want your image to translate well onto canvas, and it's really not as peaceful as you'd think.
The most difficult part of the painting was actually capturing the landscape on paint.
I got a long, 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 long way to go, and I don't know where I'm coming from, so I travel on. I got a long, 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 long way to go, and I don't know where I'm coming from, so I travel on.
I think you nailed it. For your first painting ever, I'm very proud of you.
It was hard.
Okay, guys, time to wrap it up.
Okay.
Bring your paintings to me.
That's great, Christina.
I went for a very impressionistic style and tried to put some fun color in it, and then at the last minute was like, ah! And just added as much as I possibly could.
Considering it's my first painting.
That's a great
ever.
painting. I like it.
Good job.
Yes, yeah, that's me. Enjoying the flowers. So it's a little bit like classical painting meets modernism. So, success? That's really good, Rob.
We have to get back into this thing again.
Wow.
Had a blast today. It was awesome. This is a beautiful activity that I haven't done in a long time. So it's like coming home to a friend, and there's no better introducer to my old friend than good old Carl Larson. He was fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi. Glad to be here.
This is my favorite school. Normally I try to give you some little insight about Sweden. But this time it's your turn to tell me what you found out about this country, and I'm so curious.
Can we ask questions to you? Because I have some burning questions.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I don't know if I can answer, but yeah, go ahead.
Why are you guys so emotionally reserved and afraid of judgment?
That's a sensitive question. I can take it.
Okay, so like if you're out at a bar and you like someone, you're not going to go up and be like, here's my phone number, you should get in contact with me and hang out. Like, that is not something you do. Why? Why are you afraid to do that? Not you, but Swedes.
I am.
Are you like that?
Yeah, I'm getting nervous now.
Because I'm very direct with you, and I'm like, no, we're talking about this.
Give her your phone number. Come on, Anders.
No, I'm getting
But why,
stressed.
though?
Okay, easy. We are afraid of making a fool of ourselves, and we think that that judgment will stick forever. We are obviously not as straightforward as you are, and that's why it's so fascinating to have you here, to study you. Crazy Americans, just thinking, saying whatever you want, whenever you want to.
It was so funny today when Anders reacted to Katie's question about Swedish people being reserved and shy, because Anders is a little reserved and shy himself.
I'm trying to avoid a question. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm just looking directly at you and wanting more from you.
I think that we think that whatever we do and say will stick to us forever. If I say something stupid or if I have an opinion, you will associate me with that the rest of my entire life.
If I have to give one piece of advice to Swedish people, it would be stop caring what other people think. Just live your life for you and yourself. If people judge you, that's okay. You don't need those people in your life.
Well, I'm kind of that way myself. I'm very shy. I do come from the country, although I've lived a lot of different places. And I've always been reserved, so I think maybe I'm more Swedish than I thought.
Welcome home, Rob.
But these girls are helping me come a long way, so they're helping me grow a lot.
Well, I have a question along the same lines. So often, the first thing that a Swedish person has said to me is, so, I have to ask you, what do you think about Swedish people? And I've traveled a decent amount, and nowhere in the world has anyone asked me that, except Swedish people.
Yeah, you're right. That's absolutely true. And I guess half the point with this show, Allt for Sverige, is that we're so fascinated to take 10 Americans to Sweden, and how will they react? It's so strange and funny.
Oh, really?
This is going to be exciting.
Yaha. Everybody does that. Yaha.
Yep.
One way to fit in with Swedes and in a crowd make everybody think you're Swedish, even when wearing cowboy boots and a hat like this, is simply answer with a statement, oh, yaha, and they will think you're Swedish, because everybody here does that, right? Isn't it true? Oh, yaha, it's true.
But before we round up, I have to ask you what you really think about us in Sweden. Are we okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Boring?
Yes.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're all in love with Sweden.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Really? So we're okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah.
Let the courses to run. Go away for a while. Give me something to learn. When the nights are around, and I know where to go, so I run.
Ladies and gentlemen, our time is coming to an end in Sweden.
Yeah. I don't know about you all, but I think this is one of the most incredible experiences of my life.
Absolutely.
Same. Yeah, it's been amazing.
I've seen such
Yeah.
a change in you, Rob. It's been my favorite part of this whole thing. I'm very happy for you. It's been like a light switch.
Thank you. I know I've changed. It's been an amazing experience, and I'm still trying to understand it all.
Because I remember at the beginning of all of this, you kept saying you felt you were undeserving of such an experience, and I really hope you don't feel that way now. Do you still feel that way, or do you feel that you found that you do deserve something like this because it has changed you so positively?
Oh, I know what you mean, and that's very sweet. What I mean by saying I don't deserve it is that I haven't accomplished anything to earn this. It's a free gift. That's what makes it so beautiful. Now, I've fallen in love with this place, I really have. It's going to be so hard to describe to people how amazing this place was. It's like the sun, when you see a sunset. How do you describe the beauty of that sunset? You just can't do it.
Exactly. Like, I'm really proud of everyone for making it this far and for sticking through this journey, because it's not easy. I mean, there's a lot of emotions involved and a lot of ups and downs, and, you know, I feel like we've done such a great job of supporting each other through it and, like, talking to each other in really deep emotional things. Like,
Yeah. And that may be the most beautiful thing.
yeah.
You know,
Like, we formed our own family.
Yes.
I'm gonna miss this so much. I mean, every day has been new and exciting.
Gonna miss everybody.
Yeah.
The experience in Dalarna has been sort of the epitome of the Swedish experience. The loveliness of the countryside, especially Carl Larsson's home and the surrounding fields and ponds. It's been fantastic.
Har ni inte hört talas om historien om Fet-Mats, då lär ni få höra den nu. 1719 så bärdes kroppen av en man i 20-årsåldern upp ur ett av gruvans övergivna schakt. Det märkliga var att det var ingen som kände igen honom. Ingen visste vem det var. Inte förrän en gammal gumma kom förbi och utbrast chockad. Men det är ju Mats, min fästman. Och då uppdagades en märklig historia. Mats, fästmannen, hade varit försvunnen i 42 år. Och det visade sig nu att han måste ha begett sig ner i gruvan själv den här gången 1677, 42 år tidigare, och blivit överraskad av ett ras som stängde in honom och dödade honom. Och där hade han blivit kvar medan vitriolen i gruvan konserverat honom. Så när man hittade honom såg det ut som han levt så sent som igår. Djupt nere i gruvans mörker hade berget stoppat tiden och utsatt fästmän för ett gruvligt spratt. I dagens avgörande tävling gäller det för deltagarna att inte gå vilse bland sekunder och minuter.
I want want to do my best in this game because whoever wins this game gets to go on to the final, and I would love to be in the final, and I would love to maybe be able to meet my Swedish family. That would be amazing.
It's awkward knowing that it's either me or Christina that will be continuing on with the rest of the group.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. And welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For 1,000 years, the mine in Falun produced copper. From the Viking Age to the 1990s, the rock under us is crisscrossed with lingering shafts and caves. It's like a maze. Once you get in, it's easy to get lost and easy to lose track of time. In today's challenge, it's all about keeping track of minutes and seconds and making it to the middle in the right time. So, welcome into the maze. The clock starts now. I Trojaborgen gäller att hålla koll på tiden medan man går runt i cirklar. Den som kliver in i den innersta cirkeln närmast 30 minuter är vinnare och går vidare till finalen i Allt för Sverige.
My strategy is to try to be very methodical with counting out the seconds. We've got 30 minutes to count. That's 60 seconds per minute, so that's going to be 1,800 seconds. So if I count to 100 18 times and can keep it straight, that should be all the seconds.
But I am used to counting down the minutes for my jobs, military and otherwise, so I'm used to waiting and I'm used to watching the clock and trying to be patient. So maybe I have an advantage.
I don't know how Rob's gonna do in this challenge. I don't know. Is Rob good at counting seconds? Who knows? That's a skill I've never asked Rob if he has, so we'll see what happens. Hey.
Hey.
Whew. I can talk. Wahoo!
We can.
Half an hour-ish with no talking.
Well, I stepped in to be as close to the time as I could, and when she stepped in immediately after me, I thought, she had a strategy after all, that she's that way going to cover all the time after my decision to enter.
Okay. Rob, you entered a ring after 28 minutes, 45 seconds. Christina, you entered 2 seconds later. That means you were closer to 30 minutes and you are on your way to the finale.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Rob.
Enjoy.
Thank you. I'm so glad you were here.
Thanks, me too. Very glad. And just before the rain started.
Yep, that's true. I'm in the final. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. This is amazing.
All right, I guess we leave now.
Yep.
Right now, I'm feeling a bit melancholy because I am leaving Sweden, and I'm leaving my friends that are still continuing the adventure. I'm leaving the crew members that I've grown to love very much too. But I will say that I'm going to miss you girls something awful.
Rob, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. It was pretty tough to say goodbye to the group, and I really do wish them all, each and every one of them, the best. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Y'all stay out of trouble now. Okay?
Well,
No promises.
And I hope that their remaining time
Bye, Rob.
is as enjoyable as every day has been with us together.
So tell me, how did this trip to Sweden, did it mean to you?
The trip to Sweden was life-changing.
Wow.
It brightened my life in a lot of places where it had been dark, especially since coming home from the war. I kind of became a hermit, kept to myself. I didn't trust people anymore. I have experienced things that have made me wise and cautious, but I also have learned you have to be open to those beautiful moments as well, and to the beautiful people that you encounter, and you never know from whom that will come or when it'll come. You just have to be willing to embrace it and the opportunity for it, and try to be that kind of person yourself. My time in Sweden has made me fall in love with Sweden and the Swedish people. I came just expecting to make a connection with the land, but I found a loving and beautiful people, a wonderful nation, who have embraced me and showed me love. Nothing beats that. When you find that, that is the greatest adventure.
This is it, guys. Final four.
You guys,
Four ladies.
one of us is gonna win. Like I'm excited for whoever it is.
Me too.
Yeah.
But it's one of you guys.
I don't
Like,
know if
I don't
that
even
care.
Either am or am really good friends with the winner of that first area.
The one who left is about to come home. Broken family ties are about to be unbroken.
That family reunion is at stake.
I'm going to reconnect this family tie that has been broken for 130 years, and it's just insane.
One of you that will be the last woman standing after this week's 3 challenges. The family waits, so that's why it's so critical.